on our way to the spiritual reality, on our way to rising beyond the levels of the limitations of this world, on our way to evolve beyond our uh, our material existence, we have to recognize, and acknowledge and get to know how opposite the existence in this world is to our spiritual existence. Okay, this process of recognition, this process of conscious acknowledgement of where we are and what we're made of, and how opposite this broken this physical reality is from the spiritual, whole, eternal reality, we have to identify that difference. Now, does that mean that horrible things have to happen and people have to die, innocent people, and wars and suffering?
One second.
Okay.
Why?
Why what? Why do we have to recognize the difference?
Yeah,
Because there's no right. Because nature wants us, let's say, evolved. It is embedded in the program of nature to make us conscious spiritual beings, but it's impossible for us to develop the consciousness of spirituality without correspondingly getting to know, becoming conscious of the difference between spirituality and physicality and corporeality. We have to identify how, because there's just no other way for us, a created being, a creature. We are not the program. We are not the operating program of reality. We are created by the program.
Body with some software running on us.
That's how we currently feel ourselves. But is that all we are? That's a different discussion altogether.
Okay, tell me.
So, from the Kabbalistic perspective, we are not our body. This is currently how we perceive ourselves. Our actual selves are a non-material entity built from a spiritual substance called desire. Let's just put that aside and not make it the topic of the show, but just to make it clear.
Fine. So you're saying in order to get to the spiritual goal, we need to go through all of these evils. So my simple question was why?
Okay. We need to recognize the oppositeness between spirituality, the spiritual quality that guides all of reality, and the only way to recognize it is through its opposite quality. There's just no other way. Just like you cannot understand good without bad, and you can't be hungry, you can't be saturated or satiated without being thirsty or hungry. There's no darkness without light. There's no white without black, and everything. All of the colors, right? For example, are just variations and degrees of different, on the spectrum between black and white, right? So anything that we perceive has to be a result of two opposites. There is just no other way for created beings to perceive anything if it's not through one thing and its opposite. That's why.
So on our way to the spiritual goal, according to this premise, we'll just have to see more killings, more mass shootings, and even worse?
No. Ask me why not.
Okay, so why not?
Okay, no, because I said we have to become conscious of the oppositeness. We have to acknowledge that we are opposite. We live in an opposite reality, in the opposite quality of nature. We live in a state of darkness, and if we recognize that, we can understand what is living in a state of light, let's say. From understanding the oppositeness between corporeality and spirituality, we can begin to perceive our spiritual existence, right? Becoming conscious of those differences can happen on a conscious level. If we activate our free choice in the process, if we understand where nature is pushing us, which is to raising us beyond the limitations of this world, beyond time, space, and motion, beyond separation, towards a state of connection where we're all connected as one interconnected entity, like a body, like cells in a body that are all working for the same purpose and for the same goal in the same system, bound by the same laws. If we understand that this is where we're going and we begin to want to go there, we will go through all of those oppositeness and differences that we have to recognize on a conscious level. And that means they won't have to.
I go through the emotion of the shooter or the emotion of these things without them actually having to physically manifest.
We can replace material years of years and years of material suffering with moments of spiritual awakening.